Esto es Warp Talks, el podcast de Warp, en el que creamos un espacio de diálogo vivo con los nombres que marcan el ritmo en las diferentes industrias creativas alrededor del mundo.
Hi, it's pretty nice to see you, Jónsi. I have been a fan of yours since I was like 13 years old, so this is very meaningful to me.
Yeah, amazing. Cool.
Wow. I want to start this interview telling you that I think it's quite amazing that you also do perfumery, because to me, sounds and smells are like the foundation of memory, you know? And I think they are two qualities of life, of how we perceive the world, that are more spiritually associated than the other ones. Oh, that's a really nice girl. Yeah, it's really lovely.
At last. At last.
Hello
He wants
there.
to go in. Yeah, I know. I agree. That's why I love smells and sounds and scent and sound, because they're like, yeah, both invisible and kind of move you in some indescribable way.
I think they are like more or less like spirits, right? Like ghosts.
Exactly. I know. I mean, that's a very good description of, I think, spirits in the air.
Vibrations also.
Yeah, do you want to see my perfumery?
Yeah, sure. I would love to see that. Wow, I didn't know you have like that on your own house. I thought it was like a studio apart. Wow, there are a lot of scents. Which one is your favorite?
I have a lot of favorites. It's hard to like say favorites. It's like all different notes and tones and textures, so they're all good in their own way.
Yeah. How do you smell?
Huh?
What's your smell? How do you smell? Yeah. Your
I guess my favorite is vetiver.
Oh, I don't know
Vetiver smell. Vetiver root. That's my favorite. Yeah. It's kind of like green, smoky, leathery kind of.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, a little bit masculine, right? In a way.
Yeah, you could say masculine. Kind of earthy and rooty also.
I want to know a little bit more about like when did you realize you really were like interested into scents?
I mean, it's kind of a long time. I've been doing it now for maybe 13 years or something.
Yeah.
Like scents and stuff. I kind of started in essential oils, and because I hate perfumes and they're all like horribly smelling and kind of nasty or weird and too intense and I don't know, too manly or too masculine or something.
Sure.
So I started in essential oils and and I learned how to do my own birch tar oil, which is really cool. And it's super smoky, that smell. So do you want to hear how you make it?
Yeah, sure.
So you find, if you go in a forest and find birch trees and you see any trunks that has been like chopped off or like freshly fallen or something, you take only the birch bark and peel it off, and then you get like a small aluminum can, like which holds like, I don't know, old chocolates or something.
Sure.
And then you put the birch bark, like wrap them in like small spirals and like put them in the aluminum can. You make a hole in the aluminum can in the middle, and then you have like a baked beans can under empty, and you put that underneath the can. You dig a hole in the ground, put the baked bean can in the ground, then you put the aluminum can, a bigger one with all the birch tar bark on top, with a hole in the bottom going into the baked bean jar, and then you put the lid on and you make a fire around it, so the aluminum can with the birch bark gets really hot. So all the oil from the birch bark, because birch bark has a lot of oil in it, so it goes out. It's like because of all the heat and pressure, it goes out and leaks down into the baked bean can, and then you have like this extremely concentrated black tar birch oil, and it's the smokiest thing you will ever get in your life. It's really intense.
That's
So
pretty,
yeah, that's
yeah.
it's like a really beautiful oil, and that was kind of my first oil I did. But then you get into, at a certain point you kind of find all the essential oils, and then you find there is another world out there called aroma molecules. So how that works is that there is let's say you have like a lime or lemon essential oils that's maybe made from 50 to 100 aroma molecules. So this is what I have now in all these bottles, tiny bottles. It's like one molecule. So you can really hone in on a scent, or really focus in and really design exactly how you want your scent to be. This is kind of very exciting.
Yeah.
But it is very extremely complicated. It's the most complicated thing I've ever done in my life. Scents. It's just so intense. It's like endless school.
Yeah, it sounds like alchemy. It's alchemy. It's almost like magic in a way, I assume.
Exactly. Yeah.
I read it on your webpage that you also made scents that are based on sounds. I want to know a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, like for my art practice.
Sure.
Maybe you're talking about, yeah. So I kind of been doing some gallery exhibitions and stuff like that with like sound sculptures and things like that. So
sure.
I did, for example, one in Toronto now, and it's like a speaker kind of circle with like 200 speakers or something, around 200 speakers, and it has a scent component to it, and like a sorry, I'm like confused. So it's like 200 speakers, so it's like 360 sound around you in a circle, and you have like choir, like a lot of voices all around you, and like ASMR and all the soundscape and stuff like that. Then you also have a smell aspect to it. For example, for this installation I had like fossilized amber essential oil, and it's the only essential oil that is harvested from the ground, from fossilized amber, instead of like plants and stuff like that. So that's I've been kind of getting into that lately, kind of curating a gallery space where you can really curate your own environment. Like you come in, love to trigger senses, so you can trigger, like you see something like sculptural thing, you hear something, and you smell something. So it's kind of nice to go into a gallery and you are being moved in some way. I like that.
Yeah, it's interesting because you are not making like spaces through what you see or through what you can touch. You are making spaces through the things that we cannot even touch, right? But that they are there and that they have an impact on us in a way. I think that, you're like working with the more spiritual senses that we have, like the more mysterious also.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Cool.
Oh.
Are you in Mexico City?
Yeah, well, I'm in Mexico State. That it's pretty close to Mexico City, but
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Damn, I would love to do some gallery exhibition in Mexico.
You should.
It would be so fun.
It will be so fun, and it will be an escape from this like very noisy and smelly city. So we really need.
I know.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what people need.
Yeah, that's what I need. I suppose.
Yeah.
I have been feeling that. I want to now talk a little bit about your music history because, I want to like conjugate this smells thing with the vibration of your music, and I think one of the main characteristics of what you have been composing over the years is your approach to guitar and the way you play it with a bowl. I want to know when did you started to realize that you could make sounds in that particular technique, and what do you like the most about working in that way, in that technique?
I think I started in probably 1995 picking, because I remember the drummer gave the bass player a violin bow, for his Christmas present or something, trying to like replicate like Jimmy Page and stuff, because he was a big Led Zeppelin fan. And he tried it, and it kind of wasn't working that well. But I picked it up and was playing on it on my guitar through a lot of like effects and stuff. And then something started happening, and like I really connected to that. And I feel like when we started playing together, and I was like playing the violin bow, which I later changed to cello bow because it's longer and bigger, and it's like easier to play on a guitar.
Sure.
And then something happened when I started playing the violin bow, because we played maybe together, like three of us, for like a year, like loving like Smashing Pumpkins and WARP and all that stuff, kind of indie stuff. And we were kind of like, I don't know, going somewhere. It was fun to play, but we didn't have kind of our kind of style or something or direction. But then when I picked up the cello bow and we started playing with through effects, and I started singing in a falsetto, my voice, because I had to sing in falsetto because of just trying to get over the noise in the rehearsal space, because I just sang through like a guitar amp, because we didn't have any PA or something. So I sang in falsetto just to like cut through all the noise. And yeah, then we kind of found our direction, and yeah, I've just been playing it ever since with the cello bow. It's kind of, it's something about it which is really, I don't know, just floaty and kind of dreamy and like I don't know, it's just kind of freeing in some way, because you can kind of make mistakes and you kind of can't hear it through all the reverb and stuff there. So it's kind of nice. It's just more about feeling an atmosphere rather than being a good guitar player or, you know, technically good. But actually, after a while, it takes time to get how to control the bow. You have to like learn how to use like rosin and all that stuff. You have to like put rosin on your bow and then on your strings on the guitar and play it to make it kind of lubricate all together and stuff. So it's a little bit of and then you have to like learn how to play the bow and stuff. But it's fun.
Well, from what you say, it seems to me like it is almost like the approach that made Sigur Rós' personality was, in a way, an accident, right?
Yeah, I think it kind of got clear. It got clearer, the direction. Okay, we should go there. And I think we all knew, okay, now something is happening. Mm-hmm. So that's good.
Yeah, for me, it's pretty interesting, like the approach of Sigur Rós, because, well, from the imaginary and benevolence stuff that it's like to start to talk like a child and all that kind of stuff. It seems to me that what you were trying to make, or what you are trying to make in your records, is like to give us a space to be childlike again, in a way. And well, personally, I have always feel a lot nostalgic about my childhood when I listen or when I go to a concert of Sigur Rós.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. That's cool.
What do you think about that? Do you think that there's some...
I understand it. I think it makes sense in some kind of way. It's like, I think we always try to be true and pure, even that sounds kind of weird, but like, I mean, honest or something in what we do. We're not trying to do anything or trying to be cool or trying to be different or weird or something. I think we just do exactly what we want to do and what feels right to us. Like, I think instinct is a really good word for this. When you are in a studio or in a rehearsal space with your friends writing music, I think instinct is a really good word for Sigur Rós, because we don't talk much when we are writing music. It's mainly based about instinct and feeling, and if something is starting to sound right, we just go there and like slowly mold the stuff. You know, you start like jamming out with your friends, and then you slowly mold it into some, like a song or like something like that feels right, and it has to resonate with you. I always feel like you like write music only for yourself. You never write for other people. You always write for yourself. If you get moved by what you're doing, then you're in the right place. because you want to move yourself to just to feel better and like be sane and be happy in life and in whatever you're doing. Like same like with your writing, you just if you write and you like maybe write like go in the zone, and it's like it feels good. It feels like creative fulfillment, and you feel happy and fulfilled about it. I think it's the same with music. When you're in the rehearsal play, you write a song, it's extremely fulfilling. And I think with that, you're just trying to be as honest to yourself as possible. You're not trying to, let's write a sad song today, let's write a happy song. It's never like that. You just write something and something comes out. You never try to force anything. You always just let things come from and just flow through you, and you just, grab melodies from wherever they come from, and you mold it into something that feels good, true, and right to you, and you go from there.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm pretty into Fluxus, in the Fluxus movement and the consciousness stuff. So I tend to understand that for an artist, the most important thing could be also the unconscious, right? And to be like completely honest and free to do what comes to you, right? Without reasoning.
Exactly.
Did you tend to analyze your music after you made it and see stuff on there that you didn't knew what was on you?
Sorry, say it again. Sorry.
Yeah, did you tend to analyze your music after you record it, and have you ever like found something on it that you didn't knew was into you, or that make you?
I mean,
together.
Yeah, I guess so. Like I kind of never ever listened to myself after I done an album. I never listened to it again. Maybe, I don't know, 10 years later or something. And it always sounds a little bit like, you're like, ooh, this sounds so weird, or the sound on this is kind of weird, or like, but there's only just like stuff like that. And I don't try to overanalyze anything I do. I think because the analyzing of comes when you're in the recording period, when you're in the studio recording the music, you're kind of, that's the analyzing time, and it's just that part of your time in your life, in your period where that's how the music sounds. Maybe 10 years later you're in a completely different headspace or mind space, and like the music kind of sounds different, and you do things differently. So it's kind of, you can't analyze too much, I think.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I want to talk a little bit about ÁTTA, your next album that it's coming next week, right? Are you excited about it?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's gonna be, it's good. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it, yeah, parts of it.
It's an interesting record because, well, the first thing that triggered me after hearing it is realizing that it's almost have no percussions, just in one song. That's pretty weird.
Yeah, I know. And that was conscious decision. Now we're just trio. Now it's just me, Kari, and Gogi, no drummer. Sure. So we just like decided, okay, we're just gonna have like no percussion, and it was kind of we decided that kind of. So it's very minimal percussion and stuff, and that's kind of cool. And it's also how we started writing it is because now I live in LA, and so Kari, keyboard player, came to LA for a visit, and we hadn't played together for 10 years. And he came, and we just started playing again after 10 years of not playing together, and things started flowing. And so, I think it kind of is a little bit like that. So Kari plays how, it's me with my guitar and cello both through effects, so super floaty and dreamy. And how he plays through, it's like a CP70, Yamaha CP70, like a piano, like a digital piano, and has like strings and harps and stuff. And he also plays through the kind of the same reverb I have. And it kind of actually sounds a little bit like my guitar.
Yeah.
So when we are writing together, it's super floaty and spacey and dreamy, and like, everything's slow. So that's kind of how the mood started. It became this slow, dreamy album. which is cool. I'm happy about it.
Yeah, I think, well, Sigur Rós music has always been like very spacey, and also your own solo project has always had like a lot of space and a lot of freedom for you to dive into as a listener into what's happening in your music. But this album is, I think, the more spacey one. It seems like also like, yeah, like you're floating through the instrumentals. I think that it doesn't have percussion helps to get that feeling.
Yeah, true. Very good point. Yeah, it does actually.
Well, I talked to George a couple of days ago, and he told me that this is a record about like to be a little bit frustrated about the way that we are as humanity are going through. I want to know, how do you feel? Do you feel optimistic about our race, or do you feel negative about what is going on with the world and our decisions?
I mean, I think we're all in the same boat. You know, everybody feels pessimistic
Sure.
about everything, I guess. And we were kind of doing this when the war in Ukraine was like, we were kind of mixing when the war in Ukraine started, and everything felt so heavy and weird and like wrong. And all this climate change and like wildfires and floods and uncontrollable weathers, and just everything felt so weird. And I remember when you're thinking about the cover, we were going to have some crazy climate change cover and stuff like that before this. But yeah, it was it's a weird time in the world for everybody, I guess. But I'm pretty positive person. I try to be.
Yeah, that's why you focus on scents and noises. Yeah.
Exactly, and try to do creative things to keep you happy and sane.
Yeah. In a way, you are not only doing that for yourself, you are also making us feel sane with your music.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's bonus. Yeah, that's good. I'm happy to hear.
Well, the cover art is quite shocking. The rainbow that is on flames. I was talking also to George that, well, rainbow has always been the meaning, the symbol of dreams, right? So put that in fire is like, in a way, to say we are destroying our dreams in a way.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. That's cool.
What do you think about your cover art?
It's intense. It's like it's weird and intense and kind of brutal in a way.
Yeah.
And scary, but also beautiful in some weird way. I mean, yeah, I think it represents just so much. Like, you can put any interpretation to it. Like, it does have the climate change. You like you say, you're burning our dreams, burning, like destroying the earth with the climate change and all that stuff. And also, like, especially when you're in America, like live in America, like I am doing now, you see all this crazy politicians doing some crazy stuff with gay and queer rights and trans rights, and it's just becoming a little bit like kind of disgusting here in America how people are treated. And that's also just one angle on the cover, and like, you know, there's so many meanings you can put into it, which I think is kind of cool.
When did you start living on LA? I didn't know that you were there.
I've been here for maybe 7 years now.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's coming
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah, that's why you start making music for films in a way, I suppose, in LA. It's like...
I know, yeah, I guess it kind of started like that. I was coming here for like doing some music for TV and films and stuff like that, and I kind of like, oh, this is kind of nice weather, nice food, and like it's kind of the exact opposite from Iceland.
Sure.
It's like really bright and sunny, and like you can be outside and it's like beautiful, and Iceland is really dark and cold and depressing and gloomy all the time. So it's kind of nice change a little bit.
Yeah, there are people on the streets that can wear like how do you say, swim suits and things like that, right? On Iceland, that's impossible. You cannot be like that. Like
we would,
yeah.
like your balls would freeze.
Well, Jónsi, I'm running out of my time, but Well, I suppose I'm going to end up like thanking you because, well, I have been like, I'm not a very emotional person, but every time I see Sigur Rós in concert, I end up like weeping tears.
Yes.
Right? So
I love that.
and it's the only band that has like that effect on me. So it means a lot to me.
Yeah, I would love to. We would love to. We always love coming to Mexico and play. And now we're doing these orchestra shows and stuff. It would be so fun to come to Mexico and do something more. We are like a big Mexico fans.
You're a big Mexico fan. You really like it here.
I know. I have a Mexican boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's new. That's great. You must be here
Yeah.
more often. Yeah.
I know, exactly. I know. And yeah, he came with me when he lives in America. He's like, well, he was born in America.
Oh,
His
okay.
parents are Mexican, but he came with me when he went on the Mexican tour, and it was so fun. It was
Yeah,
really
you
fun.
need to come on Death's Day. You would love that. Yeah, like the parade.
What? Sorry?
Death's Day. Dia de
Next
Muertos.
day?
Dia de
Huh?
Muertos. Yeah, Death Day. Death's Day.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
Like
know,
the
it'd be
Coco
so fun.
film. Yeah.
Sorry?
Death's Day.
What's that?
Yeah, Dia de Muertos is when we as Mexicans go out with a lot of skulls and a lot of
Oh, yeah. It's like the Day of the Dead or something?
the Day of the Dead. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I know, that'll be so fun. What's that?
This is a skull.
Can I see?
Candy skull. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, nice. Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, la la.
In
That looks good.
It's like pretty. It's just sugar, 100% sugar.
I know. Really good for you. No.
Yeah, sure. Really got to get in touch with the dead, right? That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's why we eat that on that day. Day of
Yeah.
the dead. Yeah.
Nice
Well,
to speak to you, Oscar.
nice to speak to you, Jónsi. Also, it was a pleasure, and well, hope to see you soon. Yeah, here in Mexico.
Yeah, same. Hope to see you soon.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Suscríbete a nuestro podcast y escucha las entrevistas más relevantes de WARP en WARP Talks.